welcome to the Texas Tech University ApplyTexas application walkthrough. In this video, we will be going through the ApplyTexas application, including account setup, application sections, and application submission. To begin, you will want to access the application on goapplytexas.org. What you are seeing now is what the ApplyTexas platform will look like. Here you will see the options to start/edit your profile, start/edit applications, as well as tips and steps to completing an ApplyTexas application. If you have not already created an account, you will want to begin by doing this step first. Click on Start/Edit Profile. Next, we will walk through each question in all the profile creation sections. Before we begin, one thing to note is that all questions with a red asterisk will be required. On this first profile page section, you will be asked for your name information. First, you will input your social security number. Again, note that since this does not have a red asterisk next to it, this question is not required. Next, you will be asked for your last name, first name, middle name, and suffix if it applies to you. If you prefer to go by your middle name or even a nickname, you will indicate that in the preferred first name box. Next, if you attended school using a different name or took a standardized college entrance exam, such as the ACT or SAT with a different name, you will input that information here. Finally, if you lose access to the email address you used to sign up for your ApplyTexas account, you can update that information here. A recommendation is to not use your school email address to create your ApplyTexas profile, as that email address will likely become inactive at some point. Creating an email address specifically for the college process or an email address you will always have access to is recommended. It will also be a good idea to save your progress as you go through the profile creation. Next is the background section. Here you will indicate your date of birth, city of birth, country of birth, and state of birth. Next is the citizenship section. You will first be asked if you are a U.S. citizen. The following questions will be optional. You will indicate if you are a current U.S. military service member, veteran, or dependent. Next, you can indicate if you are Hispanic or Latino, your racial category, as well as your gender if you wish to do so. Next is going to be the permanent address section. This is the address in which you receive mail at. You will also input your permanent address city, country, state, and zip code. You will then want to verify your address by clicking this blue box at the bottom of the page. Next is the physical address section. This is the address where you currently reside. If your physical address is the same as your permanent address you entered on the previous page, you can leave these fields blank. However, if it is a different address, you will put in the information accordingly. Again, you will want to verify your address by clicking this blue box at the bottom of the page. This next section is the phone number section. Here you will put your preferred phone number and preferred phone type. If you have an alternate phone number, you'll be able to provide that information as well. It is recommended to provide your phone number as the student. If your parent or guardian would like to provide their contact information, there will be a section for that purpose later on in the application. In this next section is where you will be able to provide your emergency contact information. You will provide the emergency contact's title if applicable, last name, first name, as well as their phone number, address information, and email address. Next is the section where you will provide your high school details. You will start by searching for your school in the search box on the page. You will type in your school's name and click on the correct option. You will then put your expected graduation date. If you attended additional high schools, you will have an opportunity to provide that information as well. Lastly, you will be asked if you have a GED or have completed another high school equivalency program. If the answer is yes, you will fill out that information accordingly. In this next section, you will be asked about your college history. First, you will indicate if you have taken any college courses. You will then be asked if you have earned a bachelor's degree or an equivalent degree prior to the start of the semester which you are applying for. Next, you'll be able to search for your institution's name and click on the correct option. You will then want to put the start dates and end dates of your attendance, the total hours you have currently earned at that institution, a college degree if applicable, as well as the date the degree was earned. If you attended other colleges, you will have an opportunity to put that information by clicking the Yes box. You will then fill out the information accordingly. Lastly, you will be asked if you are currently on academic suspension from the last college or university attended. Again, please answer accordingly. Lastly is the residency section. You will be asked of what country you are a resident, as well as what state you are resident in. You will then be asked a series of questions pertaining to your residency. Please answer these to the best of your ability. This section will help in determining your residency as in-state or out-of-state. Again, it's a good idea to go ahead and save your progress. Once you have filled out all 10 sections of the profile pages, you can click Done at the bottom right of the page. You should then be taken back to the main ApplyTexas page. Next, we'll want to start an application. We'll use Texas Tech University as our example. To begin an application, you can click the My Applications tab here at the top left. Next, you'll want to select Start a New Application. You will then be asked a series of questions. The first question asks, would you like to apply to a 2-year or 4-year college or university? For Texas Tech, we'll select 4-year college/university. Next, we'll type in Texas Tech's name. Be sure if you do apply to Texas Tech that you select the Lubbock location. Next, we'll select our application type, as well as our semester of entry. And finally, we'll be able to select our first choice major. After all these steps are complete, you can hit the Select Choices and Start Applications box here at the bottom. Now that we have created our application, it's time to start filling it out. You'll want to begin this process by selecting the application you wish to work on. You can verify that your information is correct here at the top, as well as view the sections by clicking this plus sign. We'll first begin by selecting U.S. Freshman Questions. This first section is the biographical section. A reminder is that all questions with a red asterisk are required. The first question you will see will ask for you to indicate your parent or guardian's education level as well as their relationship to you. The next question will ask, at any time in your life, were you placed in foster care or adopted from foster care in Texas? If you answer yes, you will be asked further questions. Next, you will be asked, in addition to English, what languages do you speak fluently, as well as the number of years you have spoken that language. One thing to keep in mind when answering this question is that if you have only taken a couple of years of foreign language in high school, there's a good chance you may not be completely fluent. However, if you are able to hold conversations in that foreign language, you may be fluent. The next question will ask for you to indicate for the most recent tax year your family's gross income. You can click the drop-down box to view the selections. Next, you will be asked, how many people, including yourself, live in your household? You will want to include everyone in the household, including brothers and sisters attending college. Next, you will be asked if you have any family obligations that keep you from participating in extracurricular activities. If you are not able to participate in extracurricular activities due to working a job or perhaps watching your younger siblings, you will want to answer yes. If the answer is yes, you will be asked further questions. The last series of questions will ask for your parent or guardian's information. You can add their title, last name, first name, middle initial, and suffix. You will also be asked if this parent or guardian is still living and if you currently live with this parent or guardian. You can then input their phone number, phone type, and email address. If you would like to add a second parent or guardian's information, click this box that says, yes, I would like to add another parent or guardian. As always, it is a good idea to save your progress throughout this process. This second section is the educational and test information section. The first question you will see on this section asks, are you a freshman with no previous college credit hours or college credit hours? If you answer college credit hours, you will want to provide further information such as the total number of college credit hours you will have earned by graduation. The next question asks, are your college credit hours earned or being earned through dual credit, concurrent enrollment, or through an early college high school? You can answer, yes, all or some of my college credit hours have been earned through classwork, or no, my hours have been earned through testing. If you answer yes, all or some of my college credit hours have been earned through classwork, be sure that you have entered the college you earned these hours with on your profile. We did this earlier by adding South Plains College to our profile. Next, you will be asked if you are homeschooled. If you were homeschooled during your high school years, please make sure you entered homeschooled on your profile and selected the appropriate homeschooled code. The following questions ask, do you plan to graduate with an IB diploma? If you are not familiar with an IB diploma, there's a good chance this does not apply to you. Next, if you plan to pursue a pre-professional health career program, you can indicate that information here, as well as select the program by clicking this drop-down box. If you are seeking teacher certification, you will want to answer yes in this next question. If not, please select no. The next set of questions will ask about your tests. These tests include the ACT, SAT, TOEFL, and IELTS. Please answer these questions as they apply to you. If you have answered that you have taken or will take these tests, you will then be asked, when did you or will you take this test? Finally, you will be asked if you consent to your transcript being shared with the community college or colleges you previously attended to consider your eligibility for and awarding of an associate's degree if you qualify. If this question does not apply to you, please select not applicable. This question does not apply to me. This third section is where you will input your senior course information. You will want to list exact titles of courses you will complete during your senior year. There will be space to indicate if the course is an AP or IB course, dual credit or concurrent enrollment, as well as if your school's academic year is divided into semesters or trimesters. Next, you will want to indicate which semesters you took this course. You will be able to continue to add courses as necessary by clicking the box that says, I need to add another senior course. Be sure to include college coursework, if any, you will complete during your senior year. One thing to keep in mind here is that if your senior year schedule changes, you do not need to report this to the admissions office. We will be able to evaluate the exact courses you complete once your self-reported academic record or final transcript is provided later in the admissions process. The fourth section is where you will provide information for your extracurricular activities. You will want to list in priority order the clubs, teams, and other organizations you have participated in throughout your high school career. This includes extracurriculars done in the summer. You can also add participation in extracurriculars through outside organizations such as your local church. When filling out this section, you will list the extracurricular activity, the description, the activity level, the years you participated in that organization or activity, the positions you held, and whether you were elected to that position. Lastly, you will add how many hours per week and how many weeks per year you participated in that extracurricular. When providing the hours per week and weeks per year, please provide your best estimate. We will not require verification of this information, so providing this information to the best of your ability is recommended. You will want to fill out this information for each year of participation. To add additional organizations and activities as necessary, click this box at the bottom that says, I need to add another extracurricular activity. The next section is where you will add your community or volunteering service information. Be sure to list in priority order the other organizations you have participated in throughout your high school career that indicate your special contributions and abilities in the areas of service. You can include service done in the summer, as well as include outside local volunteering projects not done through your high school. When filling out this section, you will list the service experience, place of service, the description, the total hours, and when you started the service experience and when you completed this service experience. When providing the total hours and start and completion date, please provide your best estimate. Again, we will not require verification of this information, so providing this to the best of your ability is recommended. To add additional service or volunteering experiences as necessary, click this box at the bottom that says, I need to add another volunteer service. Additionally, a friendly reminder is to save your progress as you go through these sections. Next, you will add your talents, awards, and honors. Here you will list in priority order your talents, awards, and honors that you have obtained or received throughout your high school career. You will want to add the name of the award or honor, as well as a short description, basis, or sponsor. Next, you will indicate the level that you received this recognition from, as well as the year or years in high school that you received this recognition. To add additional talents, awards, or honors, click this box at the bottom that says, I need to add another talent, award, or honor. The last section is where you will list your employment, internships, and summer activities. You will list specific role/job title, your employer, the hours per week, as well as when you started this employment or internship and when you completed this employment or internship. As always, when providing the total hours and start and completion dates, please provide your best estimate. To add additional employment or internships, click this box at the bottom that says, I need to add another employment, internship, or activity. Once you have completed all 7 sections of the U.S. freshman questions, click Done at the bottom right. You should then be redirected to the My Applications page. Now that we have completed the freshman questions section, we will go through questions that are specific to Texas Tech University. Each institution may add custom questions that are specific to their school. Custom questions may be asked of all students who apply or may be added to a specific major or group of majors. There are 3 sections of questions in this part of the application. The first question will ask, are you ineligible to return to any former college or university that you have attended? You will answer yes or no accordingly. The next question will ask if you have ever been found guilty of a previous violation. You will again answer yes or no accordingly. The following question will ask if there are any criminal charges currently pending against you. Please answer yes or no accordingly. If you answered yes to any of the previous questions regarding discipline or criminal charges, please provide an explanation in this next box. If you answered no to all of these questions, put in A for non-applicable in the box. Next is the college hours acknowledgement. This acknowledgement states, if you have college hours and wish to have them considered in your admissions decision, you must provide Texas Tech with an official college transcript. You can acquire an official college transcript from your institution by contacting that institution's registrar's office and requesting for an official transcript to be sent to Texas Tech University. Typically, you can have transcripts sent through the mail or electronically through transcript sending services such as Parchment and T-Rex. The next question will ask, are you enrolled in an early college high school program? If you answer yes, please note, a copy of your college transcript showing credit earned will be required to complete your application file. Again, this transcript can be obtained by contacting your institution's registrar's office. Next is where you can add a direct URL to your Zeme if you choose to provide one. Zeme works like a social media platform created specifically to help college applicants add more personality in the form of videos, photos, text posts, and stories to their application for admissions officers to see. Much like Instagram or Facebook, you can post different multimedia updates of your life. Please note, submitting a Zeme profile is completely optional, and not providing one will not delay your application from being processed. Next is the directory information release. Selecting yes will allow Texas Tech University to release any directory information to persons outside the university, such as clubs and organizations, housing providers, banks, and bookstores when requested. The type of information shared includes name and physical mailing address. If you would like to not authorize release of your directory information, select no. Next is the occupational license acknowledgement. This acknowledgement states that your eligibility for an occupational license could be impacted by your criminal history. In other words, if you would like to pursue medical, pharmacy, or dental school, for example, your eligibility of these fields could be impacted if you have a criminal history. For further information on this, click the Texas Occupations Code Chapter 53, Section 53025 in blue to be redirected to Occupations Code page. The last part of this page is in regard to your application fee. This states, after your online payment has been successfully processed, this application will be automatically submitted for you. You will no longer be able to edit it on this site. Please contact Texas Tech University for any changes after submission. The application fee is a non-refundable payment and must be submitted each time you apply for admission to Texas Tech University. By checking the box below, you agree to pay the application fee or to submit the appropriate documentation to waive the fee. In other words, once you have submitted your application, it may not be possible to make any changes. Going back through your application before you submit it is recommended. Additionally, if you would like further information on eligibility for fee waivers wherein you do not have to pay the application fee, please contact the Office of Admissions at admissions.ttu.edu. Once you have selected the Agree option, you will want to save your progress and then continue on to page 2. Continuing on to page 2, the first thing you will see is an acknowledgement that says, I understand that my application is not complete until I click the Submit Application Now button at the end of the application and receive a confirmation email from ApplyTexas. Click I understand once you have read this. Next is the scholarship acknowledgement. This says, no additional scholarship application will be required. The following questions are for scholarship purposes only and are not required for admission. What this is saying is that the next questions you will see will help in determining your eligibility for scholarships at Texas Tech. With this in mind, it is important that you answer these questions to the best of your ability and do not leave them blank. Once you have submitted your application, you cannot go back and edit these questions. The first questions that's specific to scholarships that you will see asks if you are a legacy. This means your grandparents, parents, or siblings attended or are currently attending Texas Tech. Please answer this accordingly. The next question will ask, did you attend Cavazos Junior High in Lubbock, Texas? As well as the following question will state, did you attend Cavazos Elementary in Odessa, Texas? If yes to either of these, please indicate the dates of attendance. The next question will ask, was your parent an employee of Southland Royalty or Burlington Resources? If yes to this question, indicate employee name, social security number, company name, and dates of employment. You may need to ask your parent or guardian to ensure you input the information correctly. Next, you will be asked for your expected graduation date from Texas Tech University. Most students will graduate in 4 years. However, if this changes for you later on, you will not need to contact the admissions office. The next two questions are short answer questions. The first one will ask, please state educational and career goals and the reason for choosing your major. The second question will ask, briefly describe any financial need circumstances you would like for the scholarship committees to consider. It is important to take your time and to answer these questions fully and to the best of your ability. Keep in mind that you cannot go back and edit these once your application has been submitted. On to the third and final section of the custom questions for Texas Tech. The first question on this page asks for you to describe any special contributions that you would make to Texas Tech and your academic program. For example, first-generation college student, record of overcoming adversity, or special accomplishments. Again, you will want to answer this question fully and to the best of your ability. The last short answer question will ask for you to explain why have you chosen to apply to Texas Tech University. This is another question that you will want to take your time on and answer fully. Next is the test optional selection for both admissions and scholarship purposes. Texas Tech University now offers students the option to be considered for certain test optional scholarships without submission of SAT or ACT scores, as well as the option to apply without consideration of SAT or ACT scores for admissions purposes. If you have questions on whether you should apply test optional, meaning without ACT or SAT scores, it is recommended to get in touch with your admissions counselor, as this selection will be different for every student. One thing to keep in mind is that students who elect to be test optional for Texas Tech scholarships will be evaluated holistically for merit awards based on their application for admission and specific scholarship questions. Additionally, students who initially elect to be test optional can supply an ACT or SAT score until May 1st of their senior year in order to qualify for a higher scholarship award. With this in mind, be sure that you consider both options and select your choices accordingly. It is possible to apply test optional for scholarship purposes, but apply with test scores for admissions purposes and vice versa. For scholarship purposes, select I wish to apply test optional for scholarships if you do not plan to provide an SAT or ACT score as part of your scholarship application. You will then be placed in consideration for test optional scholarships only. Select I want my ACT or SAT score considered for scholarships if you plan to send these scores to be considered for test-based presidential merit scholarships. For admissions purposes, select I wish to apply test optional if you do not plan to provide an SAT or ACT score. These will not be considered as part of your application. Select I want ACT or SAT scores considered if you plan to send these scores for consideration as part of your admissions application. For more information on this area, copy and paste these links into your browser and review our webpage. Next is the Costa Rica campus notice. For those that do not know, Texas Tech now has an amazing campus located in Costa Rica. If you would like to apply to the Costa Rica campus, please note that there is a different application process for this. Copy and paste this link into your browser and review the webpage for further information. Lastly is the location question. Some majors are offered in different locations. If your chosen major falls into this category, you will be asked to select the location that you plan to attend. Most students will attend the Lubbock campus, as this is where the main campus is located. After you have completed this section, it is a good idea to save your progress and then hit done. You should then be redirected back to the My Applications page. After we have completed questions specific to Texas Tech University, the last section is the essays for the application. Please note that both Essay A and B are optional. Essay Topic A is Tell us your story. What unique opportunities or challenges have you experienced throughout your high school career that have shaped you who you are today? Essay Topic B is Most students have an identity, an interest or a talent that defines them in an essential way. Tell us about yourself. If you choose to submit an essay, it is recommended to choose Topic A. Examples of things to include in your essays are exceptional hardships, setbacks, or personal experiences that have shaped your abilities or academic credentials, such as illness, disability, death, or finances. Personal responsibilities such as employment or caring for ill or aging parent or guardians, exceptional achievements such as academic or special talents, educational goals and choices of major, leadership experiences, learning disabilities, work history, or community service involvement are also things to consider when writing your essay. Things to remember when completing your essay are to use proper grammar and spelling. Using spell check and having your essay proofread is recommended. Additionally, do not list other universities that you are applying to in your essay. It should be customized for the university to which you are applying. Do not include information that will not provide insight as to why you will excel in college. And lastly, do not include inaccurate or false information. You will have a couple of ways to submit your essay or essays. At the time you submit your admissions application, you will have the choice to submit all saved essays with your application or to submit each essay individually later on. For the first option, you can submit your essay online through the ApplyTexas platform. This is the preferred method. It is recommended to type your essay in a Word document and then to copy and paste it over into the essay box when ready. The second option is if you choose to submit your essays later on. You can submit essays at a later time by either emailing them to the admissions office at admissions@ttu.edu, uploading it on your Reader Connect. This is also recommended so that your essay automatically links with your application, or by mailing in a physical copy. Be sure that if you email or physically mail in your essay, that you provide your first and last name and date of birth on the essay. Lastly, ApplyTexas recommends that you keep your essay between 500 and 750 words in length. If you are unsure of whether you should submit an essay or essays with your application, it is recommended to get in touch with your admissions counselor, as every student will be different and have different requirements and recommendations through the admissions process. Now that we have completed all sections and pages of the Texas Tech application, it is a good idea to go and review your answers once more before submitting. Once you are ready, hit Ready to Submit. You will then be redirected to the Certification of Information page. You are required to read the statements below. By checking the box next to the statement, you are agreeing to the terms and conditions laid out in the statement. If you do not check the box next to the statement, you will not be allowed to complete or submit the application. The first certification of information states, information collected about you through this application may be held by any institution of higher education to which you apply. The information that is collected about you will be retained and maintained as required by Texas records retention laws. With few exceptions, you are entitled on your request to be informed about the collected information. Once you have read this in full, select I certify that I have read and understand. Next is the meningitis notice. For the most up-to-date information regarding the meningitis vaccination, click New Requirements and Important Information about Bacterial Meningitis in blue. Once you have read these requirements, select I certify that I have read and understand the new requirements and important information about bacterial meningitis. The next certification of information states, if my application is accepted, I agree to abide by the policies, rules, and regulations at any college to which I am admitted. I authorize the college to verify the information I have provided. I certify that the information I have provided is complete and correct, and I understand that the submission of false information is grounds for rejection of my application, withdrawal, or any offer of acceptance, cancellation of enrollment, and/or appropriate disciplinary action. I understand that officials of my college will use the information submitted on this form to determine my status for residency eligibility. I authorize the college to electronically access my records regarding the Texas Success Initiative. I agree to notify the proper officials of the institution of any changes in the information provided. Once you have read this in its entirety, select I certify that I have read and understand. Next is the consent to allow the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board to contact you regarding your ApplyTexas application. If you consent, select yes. If not, select no. Next, you will be asked if you consent to your transcript being shared with the community colleges you previously attended for considering your eligibility for and awarding of an associate's degree if you qualify. If you consent, select yes. If not, select no. The next certification states, should you be denied admission to a particular degree program to which you applied, do you allow the institution to share your application for admission with other institutions that offer the degree program? If you consent, select yes. If not, select no. The next certification will say, you have one or more essays in saved status. You can come back later to submit essays if you want, as long as all required materials are in prior to the school's deadline. Do you wish to submit your essays along with your admissions application? If you wish to submit your essays with your ApplyTexas application, select Yes, I submit my essays. If you are planning to submit essays at a later time, select No, I will submit my essays later. There will also be a section where you can view financial aid information as well as a non-discrimination clause. Lastly is information regarding your method of payment. There will be a $75 application fee for this application. You can choose to pay now by selecting the preferred method, or you can select Request for Fee Waiver. If you choose the fee waiver option, keep in mind that there will be additional information required in order to evaluate your eligibility for the fee waiver, and your application may not be considered complete until your fee waiver has been processed or payment has been received. It is recommended to get in contact with your admissions counselor for specific information regarding the fee waiver. Once you have read through this section and are happy with your answers and selections, click on the Submit button at the bottom. You should receive a confirmation email from ApplyTexas within 2 hours of submitting your application. This email confirms that your application was successfully submitted and gives you further information for contacting the university to which you have applied. This concludes our Texas Tech University ApplyTexas application walkthrough. If you have any questions, please feel free to text us, call us, or email our office. We hope this was helpful and appreciate you tuning in. We wish you good luck with your journey to college. Thanks again, and Reckham.